Hi there, everyone. Welcome to the first episode of CIPS MENA Procurement Master Talks. I am Lalit Dhamija, your host for this talk show. CIPS MENA Procurement Master Talks series will cover in-depth interviews with procurement and supply chain professionals from various diverse industries. The experiences shared would enhance our knowledge as we hear stories about highs and lows in the lives of procurement masters. We can use the lessons to become more relevant to our organizations as well as be more agile to face the market dynamics and challenges. Our guest for today's CIPS MENA Procurement Master Talk show in Abu Dhabi is Dr. Arafat El Mourad. He is a highly qualified senior management professional and the author of Innovation in Procurement and Its Added Value to UAE Banking Sector, Islamic and Conventional book. He holds a Doctor of Business Administration fellow, and he's a fellow of Chartered Institute of Procurement and Supply, FCIPS. He's also Master of Applied Business Research from SBS Swiss Business School, as well as Master of Technology Project Management from Chefly Business School, Turin University. With more than 2 decades of experience across diverse organizations, he has significant exposure in managing supply chain operations. Currently working as Vice President, Head of Strategic Sourcing at the bank, which is Emirates ENBD Bank. He is accountable for re-engineering, procurement, and supply chain processes to improve internal stakeholders' focus and competitive advantage, defining and aligning procurement strategy with overall organizational business strategies. Welcome, Dr. Arafat. The first question, as I always ask our procurement professionals, is how did you get into procurement and supply chain world? Dr. Arafat, welcome.
Hi, Lalit. Thank you for inviting me for this CIPS MENA talk. First, I would like just to mention that the view and answer of my question has nothing to do with Emirates ENBD. It has to do with my knowledge and experience in different sector, banking and non-banking sector. So about procurement, it was definitely by accident. My background, my initial study, it was all about computer science. And I was heading IT department in many different organizations. Then I received the call from one of my friends asking me if I would like to join his organization as a head of technology sourcing manager to see if I'm interested. And with my experience, 15 years experience in IT, so he said, you are capable to handle it. And they are facing a lot of challenges with IT department. So I went for the interview and I met the people in that organization. And they hired me. The second day, they told me, I want you to start immediately, since you have the capability or the required skills to manage the challenges we are facing with IT department and IT suppliers. So I joined the organization. And within 6 months, I started doing the certificate in procurement. And I've done huge saving for the organization and a lot of cost avoidance. And immediately they promote me. Within 6 months, I was promoted to senior manager IT procurement, from manager to senior manager IT procurement. And after 2 years, I was promoted as an acting head of procurement and supply chain.
Oh, wow, what a journey. So it was a purposeful accident, it seems. And
exactly.
Like during our time, like nobody was really studying for supply chain, like I'm talking about 35, 40 years back. And the people will normally come into procurement and supply chain by accident. Like for my case, I was in procurement, I was in engineering and major projects. And once they made a division, quality assurance and control. So I was assigned to that department because I used to take interest in quality. So it was third party inspection I was interested in. And I did a lot of around 10 years, third party inspection I did. So once this section was disbanded and the relevant departments were shifted to the department where they belonged. So that is how I came into supply chain management, because the third party inspection department that was assigned to supply chain management department. So Dr. Arafat, now would you follow the same path again if you had a choice?
Of course, I'm very privileged to have had such a career that cover every single aspect of business, including and not limited to technology, digital, innovation, marketing, premises, facility management, and many, many other domains. Not only that, exposed to the high management. So we are exposed to high management. We share with them our even the challenges or opportunity. We don't call it now challenges. All the challenges now we call it opportunity to improve. So procurement has evolved significantly over the last years, given all of the technology and data that is now available to us. Our ability, I believe, to transform and add great value to ourselves and organization has increased tremendously. And I believe this is the best thing happened to me in my life, to be in procurement.
This is what I'm finding. Okay, like I'm a mechanical engineer by profession. I've done management, and I practiced as a mechanical engineer for around 15 years of my career initially. But when I moved to procurement and supply chain, I'm saying seeing there's so many possibilities which we have. Our roots are across the organization. We can contribute value in many particular areas, be it technical or non-technical or commercial, or category management or market intelligence. So there's a lot of scope, and as we are seeing, more and more professionals are getting attracted to procurement and supply chain because of that reason.
Exactly, Lalit. And adding to what you said, adding to that, Lalit, now if you, for example, from your perspective, mechanical engineer, that help in really understanding the scope and speak the language of your stakeholder. From my perspective, when they brought me to IT, it helped me to understand the language of IT. So I speak the language already. I didn't speak the procurement language, but I spoke the end or stakeholder languages, which helped me a lot to develop and really improve that procurement can do different, can show really difference to the organization and add great value to them.
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing. Procurement welcomes diverse professions, even people from finance background, from law background, from business background. Everybody has something to contribute when they join our teams. So, Dr. Arafat, moving on, what 3 words do you think your colleagues and peers would use to describe you?
My colleague and even my friends, they consider me approachable, workaholic, and influencer leader. That really I influence people to change, to evolve.
Right, absolutely. That I have seen in the interactions I had with you during conferences or during some study sessions which we had together. So I really agree with that. You are really approachable, workaholic, and you are a leader. Like Emirates ENBD, I hear quite a good stories about what you have done within your organization. And coming to a lighter side, do you want to share any hobbies or any aspects of your personality with us?
Yeah, sure, Lalit. COVID-19 helped me to develop some Instagram pages related to sport. So I created some pages and I publish every day one video, 4 minutes video called Tabata Workout. Oh. So I'm really interested in, yes, Tabata Workout. What's Tabata? Tabata is one PhD doctor from Japan. It's his last name, Tabata. They develop high intensity interval training, which help people to work from home or to work out at home. So I start following that, and I did a lot of boxing training, and I love swimming. And I also really am passionate about inspiring people even to do things differently. Many people tell me how you have time to do all of that, to work out, to study, and to work. And we see you working day and night. So do you sleep? Do you have 48 hours a day or 24 hours? So I receive this question all the time. I believe it's just about really managing your time properly. I give sometimes for my kids. They have their own time. My wife, she has her own time. And I have my own time to study, even to watch TV. I watch TV every day, minimum 1.5 hours. And I study, I work out minimum 50 minutes to 1 hour, 1.5 hours every day. So I created this webpage for fitness, and I uploaded up to date in the last just 25, 30 days, almost 32 videos available online. Some of them 4 minutes, some of them is even 8 or 12 minutes, just for people, encouraging people to really work out from home, to feel different, to release their stress and their anger, so they can do it from home without any challenges.
That's so good, remarkable and inspirational. And maybe we'll share the website in our reporting of these procurement talks. And I believe you also have an Instagram channel also.
Yes, I have Instagram called tabata.workout, which again, all the videos is published there. Again, it's for public, for people really to view it so they can work out. So no one have excuse not to work out and to get better, get fit and lean.
Yeah, if you've got a healthy body and healthy mind, then the, what they say, the performance of the company really matters on that. Healthy people, good fit people, and that really impacts the performance. And wonderful, we'll share these websites with our audience. And what can procurement do to have a maximum impact on an organization?
I believe procurement leaders can help in maximizing the impact on their organization by understanding their business needs and requirements, and being proactive, agile with their demands, and collaborative with their stakeholders. I believe without your stakeholder, you will never be able to deliver anything to your organization. Nothing at all. So you need the support of stakeholder. And to have the support, you need to be trusted. And to be trusted, you need to speak the language. So it is the role of the procurement leader to partner, to collaborate, to align, and change in their process with their internal stakeholder in order to eliminate any redundancies or inefficiency in the process. They can work on automating the part of processes where human intervention is not value added, to be able to shift their focus on activity that really add value to internal and external customers or stakeholders. Today, we eliminate the word of customer. So even the bank customer is called stakeholder. Internal customer, which is the bank staff, is called now internal stakeholder. Supplier is external stakeholder. So we are contributing because all of them contributing to the final outcome, which is the organization driving and delivering the best outcome to the organization and delivering the ultimate goal to them.
Absolutely. I think within CIPS also, there is quite a lot of emphasis on stakeholders management, be it internal stakeholders, connected stakeholders, or external stakeholders. Even community is considered as a stakeholder. Now, Dr. Arafat, how is the current situation changing your thinking or approach towards procurement supply chain in banking sector? In general, how is the banking sector getting affected by the current situation, and what are the approaches towards procurement?
Procurement in the banking sector is evolving fast due to the bank services provided to their customer. You know, most of our services in banking sector is online services like mobile banking, internet banking, automation, omni-channel, and many other services that we provide to our customer, really to have all the services from home. So you can do everything from anywhere, not only from branches or from offices. So 50% or to 60% of our spend is on technology. Being agile, innovative, and stakeholder savvy is a mandatory skills in banking sector. Moreover, we are expected. Yes, sorry.
Right.
Yeah, more,
Absolutely.
yeah. So this is the thing. So you have to be, that's why I'm talking about stakeholders. Stakeholder, really, customer savvy, it means stakeholder savvy. Procurement, they have exposed to stakeholder, internal stakeholder, and to supplier. And even they are a customer of a bank. So they will know exactly what banks need. They know which supplier really can add more value to them.
Mm-hmm.
So they are exposed more to innovation, fintech companies, startup companies, etc. And the speed to market and being the first to implement solution to create great value and experience to bank customer is a must these days to sustain and to compete not only with the local bank or international bank, to compete against the giant payment system like Apple Pay and Alipay.
Mm-hmm. I have seen like over the years, and especially during last year, I've seen many brick and mortar branches closing down, and more we are moving towards digitization, and maybe this really helped during these times. And of course, there are fantastic apps. You don't even need to open the web, and just from the apps, you can do a lot of banking, even including depositing the checks. So there's a lot of strides which banking sector has made with technology, and which is helping the customers. Now, Dr. Arafat, are you changing the way that you work with your suppliers or customer due to the current coronavirus situation?
From my views, the strategy is how procurement leader can consolidate and ensure strategic supplier behave like partners with us, understand their roadmap, their vision, and align with the organization, with the bank or any organization you work for, vision and strategy.
Mm-hmm.
Moreover, due to COVID-19 spread situation, we are asking supplier to review all the SLAs, KPIs, and help us to reduce the current costs and sustain in such a market situation. You know, and the whole market is, we have three different scenarios in this market. You have COVID-19 virus, you have trade war, which is the oil price,
Mm-hmm.
and you have the global crisis. So,
Right.
so to sustain in this market, you need a lot of support from different stakeholders and supplier. They don't need to earn money. They have to sustain. They have to survive in this market. Even us as a bank or anyone in this market organization, you need to sustain. You need to survive, not to make money at this time. This time is just to sustain and survive in this market.
Yeah. So as we are moving into the new world, the type of relationship with suppliers are changing. The relationship with stakeholders are changing, and many times even this will be the case. Maybe what we are reading, that suppliers may even choose the customers, because the type of relationship, the type of treatment they are getting, the type of understanding from the customers. So in these situations, people have to find really innovative ways of working in which we can contribute value to the organizations. Going forward, beyond the pandemic, what are the key trends companies will need to consider? How do you think we will need to kickstart procurement and supply chain once things begin to recover?
Uh, Lalit, I believe we all know we can work from home, especially in this country in UAE. UAE
Mm-hmm.
has the good infrastructure that can help organization, procurement leader, procurement professional, and even suppliers to work from home. They don't need
Right.
to work all of them from the offices. I mean, even meeting, we conduct meeting the whole day with our supplier, with our stakeholders from home. And we did not see any bad impact on that. We
Yeah.
are more proactive, we are more agile, or we are keeping the same momentum. We did not change at all. So
Right.
company will definitely begin to consider online solution and seek companies that really have a clear roadmap about their innovative solution that really add value to internal stakeholder and external stakeholder. It means bank customer or organization customers. Companies will also now place a lot of importance on their financial stability and sustainability. Today, I don't want to work with any supplier that they do not have really financial stability, because I want to ensure that this company that I'm dealing with, working with, it will sustain for my minimum 5 to 10 years. So I have to ensure that in my services or devices or equipment that I'm procuring from these companies. From my side, work from home minimum twice a week will be suggested. And we will work on implementing this since we proved that we can continue to procure from home and deliver a great value to our organization. This is due to the fact that most of our services are digitized and able to reach out to our supplier and external partners from home.
So that means it will be a new normal, working from home, at least part-time, if not full-time. And secondly, about the suppliers, you'll have to see that suppliers are sustainable. That could be a challenge to evaluate depending on the priority suppliers or a few strategic suppliers. So you may have to see their financial strength to ensure that they can provide, they can be with the company for at least, like you mentioned, 5 years. Moving ahead, what will be the impact of digitization and evolving technologies on procurement? Will online and digitalization play a bigger role from now on?
Yes, Lalit, for sure, online and digitalization play a bigger role even today. So procurement and banking sector put a lot of effort in building business cases for end-to-end solution for procurement, such as procure to pay or sourcing to pay, to contract management, e-signature. Earlier, if you see most of the contract, it was signed with wet signature because the law in UAE or central bank requirement, etc. Now everyone, I believe, in every bank in UAE and around the world is pushing for e-signature. Mm-hmm. Even the government themselves, I believe, they are changing this the method of approving e-signature or the wet signature. So I believe all of that. I would really I would say thank you, COVID-19. For allowing us to digitize better, because of this current situation, we've been able to really digitize most of our services, and everybody now asking us, please implement the following solution that was even pushed back from stakeholders. So all of it now it's approved, and they say immediately implement it and deploy it, since it will add great value to our internal and external stakeholders.
So this has helped the ecosystem evolve faster, which we were thinking putting on the back burner, but then we expedited and worked on it faster to get the quick solutions and sustainable solutions. And this situation, in a way, helped to find workable solutions for us. And
Exactly.
Dr. Arafat, what are the future challenges you see for procurement professionals after going through all these uncertainties and complexities which we were not expecting? So what would be the future challenges you see for procurement professionals?
You know, Lalit, in every event when I speak about procurement, I mention many of the role that we do today, it will really be eliminated or disappear. Mm-hmm. So I believe many roles we have today in procurement will be automated, right, which require us to evolve. That's why I said we need to speak the language. I mean, emotional intelligence, speaking the language, have different skill set. It's a must. So the procurement should evolve. Procurement professionals, even procurement leader, should evolve and change the way they really act in procurement today. Procurement profession is relatively new compared to other professions. However, they have evolved impressively over the last 10 years. 10 years back, 9 years back, when I joined procurement, my head of procurement, he was asking me, if your stakeholder happy with you, it means you are not doing your job properly. It means there is a deviation. Today, if you tell that, it means, sorry, imagine the evolvement. I'm talking about 9 years, Lalit. Right. Imagine if your stakeholder happy, it means you are not doing your job properly. Today, if your stakeholder, even whatever you do, if your stakeholder is not happy, it means you are not doing your job at all. Right. So everything should be aligned and collaborated with your stakeholder. So for years, procurement have focused on ensuring control, compliance to corporate policy and procedure, reducing costs and ensuring the timely delivery of goods and services, and utilize technology to achieve this. Now, however, they need to keep an eye on the trends that are shaping the future business and procurement, and work on gaining the right skills to stay in the game. They need to be a business savvy, speak the language, and build the trust.
Absolutely. I think the relationship we used to have with suppliers was arm's length mostly, but now we are depending on suppliers for innovative solutions, for creating value, you know, for being a strategic
Yes.
partner to the company. So we are seeing the value of working closely with the suppliers for innovation, to finding good solutions for cost reduction, or for reducing lead time, or for reducing processes, or for including or like adapting new technologies. So absolutely the scenario has completely changed. Now, Dr. Arafat.
Lalit, just I would like to add,
Yeah,
to that even.
sure.
You've heard about CSAT, customer satisfaction,
Right.
right? Today
Uh-huh.
we are adding something called supplier satisfaction. Supplier
Mm.
satisfaction with us. Imagine you
Yeah.
are asking supplier, are you satisfied or not?
Yes.
To improve, because without supplier, you will not be able to deliver the outcome to your stakeholder, which is the external stakeholder, the customer of the bank or the organization.
Yeah.
Most of the service is delivered by supplier. So you need to partner with this supplier. You need to consider
Absolutely.
them as a partner, as a strategic, and as a stakeholder. The same treatment for the internal stakeholder, you should have the same treatment with the supplier as an external stakeholder.
Yeah. Like we have got responsibility towards suppliers also, and how suppliers perceive us as a customer. What is the supplier
Exactly.
perception about the customer? We say, is the supplier good or bad, or how they're performing? We have to look at ourselves also, and we need to have our KPIs related to supplier. Are we paying them in time? Are we giving them approvals in the required KPIs and SLAs, whatever we have agreed with them? Absolutely. And Dr. Arafat, what will be your message to the young professionals, procurement professionals?
Be patient. I know many young procurement professionals, they want to immediately jump the ladder and become the head of procurement, or I don't know, category head.
Mm-hmm.
It's not easy to be a category head or head of department. It
Mm-hmm.
requires a lot of skills. It requires a lot of emotional intelligence. So they
Mm-hmm.
have to be patient, passionate about their work, to look and look beyond what they do today and understand further their industry. It's not about only understanding the procurement. You have to understand your industry. You have to know what your organization is looking for, what is their strategy, what is their goals. All of that, you should know it before you change or evolve. So be patient, understand all of that prior to think about being a leader or being a category manager. It's good to think about being category manager and head, but understand all this aspect prior to that. Understand the business need, the strategy, the product and services that your organization procure. Also
Mm-hmm.
the key financials. Many people, they know procurement, but they know nothing about financials, or they know nothing about stakeholder requirement.
Right.
For example, today you see many people, they are even procurement professional, and they are certified, but they don't speak the language of stakeholder, IT, for example, or marketing, or premises, or facility management, or any other areas. Right. So you need to speak this language. You need to understand the business need to build a trust, transparency, all of that. You cannot build it without all having this knowledge. Also, they are advised to evolve to become a business enabler, strategic, proactive, and agile. By doing all of that, they will be able to build that trust with their internal stakeholder, even with the supplier, external stakeholder. If you are transparent with supplier, you will build that trust between them. So they will be able to help you. They will be supported in any change or involvement they make in procurement. This will help to shape procurement as an enabling function in their organization. We all know we are living in a time where information is considered to be power.
Right.
So personally, I meet stakeholders once a month, sometimes once every, minimum once a month, I meet my stakeholder. Talking about stakeholder, it means internal and even supplier, the strategic supplier, not all supplier, a strategic supplier, minimum once a month. So communicate, they discuss the roadmap, and collect the demand at the beginning of every fiscal year, and discuss and prioritize the requirement with my internal stakeholder, even with my strategic supplier. This will help to deliver the best outcome for our internal stakeholder and organization as a whole. So this is my message. Also, I advise procurement, because procurement professional, many people, they hesitate to go to CIPS event or to some workshop. I encourage them that this is a must. Meet your industry peers, such as attending CIPS event and workshops, to exchange knowledge and best practices. you need to become qualified and a licensed professional in procurement. Discuss the challenges in procurement forums and get opinions and feedback on how to overcome these challenges. Today, I don't mention challenges. Everything I say, opportunity to improve. So opportunity, not challenges. This will help in developing themselves and achieving their organization objective.
That was wonderful, remarkable. Dr. Arafat, I want to thank you so much for joining me and for providing the useful insights to the procurement professionals. And listeners, thank you very much for tuning in to this episode, the first episode of CIPS MENA Procurement Master Talks, and hope you enjoyed it. You will be notified of the new episodes in the series of procurement talks by CIPS MENA on their social media channels from time to time. So thank you very much once again, Dr. Arafat.
Thank you, Lalit. Thank you for having me. Thank you, everyone. And enjoy the talk. I believe this will be useful for all of us. Thank you again. Thank you.
Thank you.